Most people want to talk about the future like it's some mystery, like it's going to magically show up one day with a bow on it. Let me be real with you. Your future ain't hiding in luck. It ain't hiding in your dreams. It ain't hiding in some fantasy. Your future is hiding in the grind you put in every damn day. It's in the habits nobody sees. It's in the work when nobody's clapping. It's in the discipline when nobody's watching. You think millionaires, warriors, leaders got there by accident. No. They built it brick by brick with their daily habits. And the problem with most of you is you're waiting for the big moment. You're waiting for motivation. You're waiting for somebody to save you. Nobody's coming. Your habits are your rescue. Your habits are your prison. And your habits are your freedom. You want to know your future? Look at what you do every day, because that's the only truth that matters. Your daily habits are the blueprint of your future, because a future doesn't just show up out of nowhere. It's constructed brick by what you do when no one's watching. People talk about wanting success, wanting greatness, wanting freedom, but they don't understand that they practice day in and day out are the blueprint they're handing over to life to build their future with. If your habits are weak, your future will be weak. If your habits are disciplined, structured, focused, then your future will reflect that. You can't escape it. You can't cheat it. You can't lie your way around it. Life is brutally honest and will always deliver the structure of your habits back to you every morning. Wake up. You're building something, whether you know it or not. You're either building a palace of discipline or a prison of regret. You're either laying down bricks of consistency or stacking blocks of excuses. What you do in those first hours, what you feed your body, what you feed your mind, what you feed your time, that becomes the foundation of your life. People don't fall off track in one big collapse. They fall because of thousands of little moments where they chose distraction over discipline. They chose comfort over commitment. They chose impulse over intention. And those tiny cracks in the create a weak foundation that can't hold the weight of their dreams. Millionaires, leaders, warriors, they all understand this truth. They know that habits are not small things. They are everything. Waking up early is not just about time. It's about mentality. Training when you don't feel like it isn't just about muscles. It's about building a blueprint of resilience. Studying when you'd rather be entertained isn't about information. It's about creating a future where knowledge makes you dangerous. The smallest habits compound into the largest outcomes. Every repetition, every routine, every decision is drawing lines on the blueprint that will become your reality. If you want to know where you'll be in 5 years, stop looking at your dreams and start looking at your habits. The mind loves to fantasize about the future, but the body obeys the daily schedule. You can dream about being successful, but if your daily habits are lazy, you're programming a lazy future. You can say you want financial freedom, but if your daily habit is wasting money and time, you're building chains instead of freedom. You can talk about wanting to be strong, but if you skip the workouts, if you avoid the pain, you're sketching weakness into your future. It's the vision board that matters. It's the daily grind board. What you repeat is what you become. What you tolerate in yourself becomes the ceiling of your potential. Look at your life right now and strip away the talk, the excuses, the dreams. Look at raw habits. What time do you wake up? What do you do with your mornings? How do you fuel your body? How do you train your mind? How do you spend your evenings? That's your blueprint. That's your future staring you in the face. If your habits are inconsistent, your future will be unstable. If your habits are mediocre, your future will be mediocre. If your habits are sharp, disciplined, and unrelenting, your future will be sharp, disciplined, and unrelenting. There's no mystery to it. Life is simply reflecting your habits back at you with interest. Habits are powerful because they are quiet. They don't scream at you. They don't look big in the moment. But over time, they create empires or graves. One cigarette doesn't kill you, but the habit does. One skip workout doesn't ruin you, but the wasted hour doesn't destroy your destiny, but the habit of wasting time does. On the flip side, one push-up doesn't change your body, but the habit does. 1 hour of reading doesn't make you a genius, but the habit does. 1 day of saving doesn't make you wealthy, but the habit does. Your habits are either killing you slowly or saving you daily, and you decide which way the scale tips. Every single day, the problem with most people is that they underestimate the power of small things. They think greatness is about the big moments, the big wins, the spotlight. But greatness is hidden in the routines nobody sees. It's built in the dark, in silence, in repetition. Habits are the chisels that sculpt your character. They carve out strength, resilience, and discipline one stroke at a time. And just like a building rises from blueprints, your future rises from the invisible lines of your habits. If you want to change your life, don't start with the dream, start with the habit. Because the dream without the habit is a hallucination. But the habit will turn the dream into a structure you can stand on. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you're redrawing your blueprint. Every time you stick to the routine when it hurts, you're reinforcing your foundation. Every time you lock into your daily mission, you're laying bricks toward a future of freedom. And every time you give into comfort, every time you skip the grind, every time you waste time, you're erasing the lines of discipline and scribbling chains into your blueprint. You can't build a palace with broken lines. You can't build freedom with sloppy sketches. You can't build greatness on the foundation of weak habits. What you do daily is designing who you will become. The reason most people stay stuck is because they expect their future to be different while repeating the same daily habits. They want change without changing. They want success without sacrifice. They want freedom without discipline. But you can't outsmart the blueprint. Life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you consistently design through your habits. If you eat trash daily, you build a trash body. If you consume negativity daily, you build a negative mind. If you waste hours daily, you build a wasted future. But if you feed your body strength, feed your mind wisdom, feed your soul discipline, then your future will reflect those choices. The blueprint of your habits is not just physical, it's mental and spiritual. The thoughts you rehearse daily, the self-talk you repeat, the beliefs you feed, those are habits too. If your habit is to doubt yourself, you're building a future of doubt. If your habit is to complain, you're building a future of misery. But if your habit is to push yourself, to speak strength into yourself, to believe even when it hurts, then you're building a future of resilience. Every word you repeat to yourself is a line on the blueprint. Every belief you reinforce is a wall rising in your life. You are constructing your future with every repeated thought and action. Whether you're aware of it or not, will tell you they can predict your future. They're not reading your palm, they're reading your habits. Because habits don't lie. Habits don't care about what you hope. Habits don't care about what you say. Habits only care about what you do. You can talk about wanting to run a marathon, but if your daily habit is sitting on the couch, the blueprint says you're lying to yourself. You can talk about wanting to be a millionaire, but if your daily habit is spending recklessly, the blueprint says you're building chains. You can talk about wanting freedom, but if your daily habit is comfort, the blueprint says you're building cage. The truth is brutal, but it's freeing because it means the power is in your hands. If you don't like the blueprint, redraw it by changing your habits. Your daily habits are the silent architects of your destiny, and every day you are hiring them to build something for you. Some people hire laziness, distraction, procrastination, and then wonder why their building collapses. Others hire discipline, focus, and consistency, and in time in palaces while the world calls them lucky. But it's not luck, it's blueprint. It's not chance, it's design. It's not fate, it's daily habits multiplied by time. If you want to take control of your future, you don't need to wait for a miracle. You don't need to wait for motivation. You just need to take command of your habits today because they are already shaping tomorrow's small disciplines compound into unstoppable results. But most people never give themselves the chance to witness that truth because they quit too soon, they don't respect the process, and they underestimate the power of what looks small today but becomes massive tomorrow. Every great life, every sharp mind, every millionaire mindset, it all starts with something so basic that people overlook it. And that's the discipline to do the little things with consistency. You don't get shredded from one workout. You don't become wise from reading one book. You don't become financially free from saving one paycheck. But when you do it every single day, when you stack that effort, when you let those small disciplines build on top of each other like compound interest, you wake up years later and you're a completely different person, unrecognizable even to yourself. The world tells you to chase big results overnight, to look for shortcuts, hacks, and quick fixes, but the truth is you can't microwave greatness, you can't cheat discipline, and you can't skip the grind. The small things are the foundation, they're the bricks of your entire future, and if you don't master them, you'll never touch the big things. Think about it like this. You brush, why not? Because one day you'll get a gold medal for dental hygiene. But because if you don't, your teeth rot, your breath stinks, and eventually you pay for neglect with pain. Discipline works the same way. You might not see the result tomorrow, you might not get applause next week, but years down the line, those small disciplines compound into health, wealth, strength, knowledge, and freedom. Most people don't understand the math of discipline. They look at one choice, one decision, and they say, it doesn't matter. They eat the junk food and tell themselves it's just one time. They skip the workout and say it's just today. They procrastinate on the goal and say they'll do it tomorrow. What they don't see is the equation. One time becomes 10 times becomes a year becomes a habit. And now their entire life is shaped by what they allowed themselves to repeat. But the same math works in your favor when you flip the script. One day a discipline becomes a month becomes a year, and a year becomes a lifestyle. That lifestyle builds momentum, and momentum becomes power. The compounding effect of discipline is ruthless. It doesn't care who you are, rich or poor, young or old. It rewards the one who respects it and punishes the one who ignores it. Let me be real with you. Discipline feels small because it's supposed to. It feels boring because it's supposed to. Greatness doesn't show up with fireworks in the beginning. Greatness is born in silence, in the repetition of ordinary tasks done with extraordinary commitment. That's why most people never get there. They get bored. They crave entertainment. They want a dopamine hit. They want to feel like they're making massive progress every day. But discipline doesn't work like that. Discipline pays interest, not lottery tickets. It's not about winning big once. It's about stacking small wins over and over again until the weight of all those wins makes you unstoppable. Think about a tree growing. You don't see it shoot up 20 feet overnight. You water it daily. The roots grow first, unseen, underground, and only after years of consistency does it tower above. Your life works the same way. The roots are your small disciplines, the habits nobody notices, the actions you take in silence. The tree is the result everyone admires, but you can't fake it. You can't skip the invisible work. If you want to stand tall later, you better dig deep now. Most people ask, how do I get to the top? How do I become unstoppable? How do I change my life? And the answer isn't sexy. It's not a motivational quote. It's not a YouTube clip. It's not a secret formula. The answer is hidden in your habits. It's waking up and doing the workout even when you're tired. It's reading the book instead of scrolling social media. It's putting your money into savings or investments instead of wasting it on temporary pleasures. It's choosing discipline in the moment when comfort is calling your name. Every time you make that choice, casting a vote for the person you want to become. And those votes add up. One day, people will look at you and say, how did you do it? How did you change? And the truth is you change not by one big moment, but by thousands of small ones, strung together by discipline. What most of you don't realize is that every great transformation looks impossible until it's done. And the only reason it ever gets done is because somebody had the courage to keep showing up day after day with no guarantee, no applause, no spotlight. They trusted the compound effect. They believed that small actions done relentlessly would create unstoppable results. And they were right. The universe always rewards discipline. Always. It doesn't skip over anybody. The reason you're not where you want to be is because you keep quitting when it gets boring. You keep stopping when it gets hard. You keep chasing excitement instead of consistency. That's why you're stuck. That's why you're frustrated. And that's why people who are less talented than you, less gifted than you, less smart than you are winning. They respect discipline more than you when it's boring. They don't quit motivation. They live off discipline, and discipline compounds. I'm telling you right now, stop underestimating the power of small disciplines. Stop waiting for big breaks and massive moments. They don't come without the foundation, and the foundation is built in the small, daily, boring, ordinary disciplines that most people ignore. Your results are not hiding in the future. They are accumulating right now in the shadows of your habits. You are either compounding strength or compounding weakness. You are either stacking wins or stacking excuses. And the scary part is you won't see the full effect until it's too late. One day, years from now, you'll look back at your life and realize whether your small disciplines made you unstoppable or whether your small neglects made you a slave to regret. And that's the truth. Most people can't handle comfort today will cost you freedom tomorrow. But most people don't want to hear that because comfort feels good right now. Comfort whispers in your ear telling you that you deserve to rest, you deserve to relax, you deserve to skip the hard work. And every time you listen, you trade a piece of your future for a moment of relief. That's the deal comfort makes with you. It doesn't tell you the cost up front. But every time you choose discipline, you're signing away your freedom one small decision at a time. People don't become slaves overnight. They become slaves through 1,000 tiny agreements with comfort. You eat the junk food today, you pay with your health tomorrow. You skip the grind today, you pay with mediocrity tomorrow. You choose laziness today, you pay with regret tomorrow. The bill always comes due, and comfort makes damn sure you're the one paying it. When you think about freedom, you think about doing what you want when you want, but true freedom doesn't come from doing what feels good in the moment. True freedom comes from building a life where you are no longer controlled by weakness, no longer held back by excuses, no longer trapped by the chains of distraction. The irony is most people run to comfort because they think it gives them freedom, but what it really gives them is prison. Comfort shackles your mind. It dulls your edge. It makes you soft. You don't notice it at first because it creeps in slowly, but before you know it, comfort owns you. And when it's time to rise up to fight, to push, to grow, you don't have the strength because you've been selling your freedom for cheap pleasure day after day. I've lived both sides of it. I know what it feels like to let comfort run my life. I know what it feels like to make excuses, to look for the easy way, to settle. And I know what it costs. It costs respect. It costs potential. It costs the future. Comfort doesn't care about your dreams. It doesn't care about your goals. It doesn't care about your destiny. Comfort only cares about keeping you small, keeping you weak, keeping you average. And if you let it, will bury you alive while convincing you that everything is okay. But on the flip side, I know what it feels like to deny comfort, to reject it, to embrace suffering, to train myself to do the hard thing over and over until it became who I was. And I know what that creates. That creates freedom. That creates the kind of life where you don't depend on motivation, where you don't rely on luck, where you don't wait for opportunity. You create it because you built the strength, the discipline, and the mindset to handle anything life throws at you. Most people are prisoners of today because they can't sacrifice comfort tomorrow. They want the body without the sweat, the money without the grind, the respect without the sacrifice. They want the results without the suffering. But life doesn't work that way. Comfort is always collecting. Every easy choice you make adds up, and one day you wake up overweight, broke, unmotivated, and filled with regret. You tell yourself it happened suddenly, but it didn't. It happened daily in the small moments where comfort won. Every time you skipped the workout, every time you hit snooze, every time you scrolled instead of studied, every time you ate instead of trained, you handed over a piece of your future, and now you're trapped, wondering why you feel stuck, when the truth is you traded your freedom for comfort one decision at a time. But here's the thing, the opposite is also true. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you pay a price today, but you earn freedom tomorrow. When you wake up early to put in work, you're buying back your future. When you choose a healthy meal, you're buying back your health. When you grind on your craft while others are wasting time, you're buying back your success. Discipline is expensive, but it always pays back more than it takes. Comfort is cheap, but it always costs more than you realize. You have to decide what bill you're willing to pay. Do you want to suffer the pain of discipline today, or do you want to suffer the pain of regret tomorrow? Because one way or another, you're going to is that one suffering makes you stronger and gives you freedom, while the other suffering makes you weaker and locks you in chains. Look at the people who are free, truly free, whether it's financially, physically, or mentally. They're not the people who chose comfort every day. They're the people who bled for it, sweated for it, sacrificed for it. They're the ones who trained when they didn't feel like it, worked when they were tired, studied when they were bored, pushed when nobody believed in them. They paid in discomfort and they cashed out in freedom. That's the formula. You don't escape it. You don't hack it. You don't shortcut it. If you want freedom in the future, you have to reject comfort in the present. It's that simple and that hard. That's why so few ever reach it, because the couch feels better than the grind. The cake feels better than the discipline. The party feels better than the late night work. And because they want to feel good now, they sacrifice the chance to be great later. The truth is, comfort will always be there, calling your name, offering you an easy way out. But you have to remember what's at stake. Your dreams are at stake. Your potential's at stake. Your future's at stake. Every time you say yes to comfort, you're saying no to the life you could have had. And every time you say no to comfort, you're saying yes to the life you're capable of building. Freedom isn't free. It costs discipline, sacrifice, but that pain is temporary. Regret is forever. And the people who understand that, the people who live it, they become unstoppable because they refuse to be owned by comfort. They choose the hard path today so they can walk the free path tomorrow.